Go get it! What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Tucker and the Beard. This and every episode is brought to you by
Our respective real estate businesses. We are both top producing agents in the Prescott area, serving both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or if you would like to become a sponsor for the show, you can call Tucker at
928-710-4690 or the Beard at
928-910-5954. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. We
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate it, and we rely on your support. So you can obviously find us on Facebook. But you can also find us on YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes for the audio-only version of our podcast. And it would really mean the world to us if you would take a minute to rate and review us on iTunes and head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that little bell for notifications. We love Facebook, but they're not always the best delivery method for our content. You're not going to see everything that we put out. But YouTube does a really good job of that. So,
yeah. So give us a like and everything like that. But enough business. Let's get to the show.
let's go. Back.
What's going on? Hi.
Took some time off last weekend.
A little bit of, I was off
So
the
I've
week.
been playing catch up.
I was off the week before.
Were
I
you?
took some time off.
Oh.
Well, it was a couple days. Didn't interfere with this at all.
Felt like I saw you every day.
I know.
Weird.
It's almost there.
But no, tried to take some time off over the last weekend, and
I'm still a little,
Kind
I'm
of
still a
failed
little upset.
miserably.
I'm a little upset with you. You got to go to the concert that
I did, and it was pretty great.
fantastic. Were all of the bare naked ladies there?
They all were,
Really?
but I will say this: they were fun to watch. Mm-hmm. They were entertaining, but they weren't nearly as tight as a band as they could have been.
Okay.
And what really kind of threw me for a loop.
I like
is-
how I didn't introduce it as a band. I just said, were all of the bare naked ladies
All of them
there?
were there.
All of them.
Well, if people watched last
Yeah.
weekend, then they know.
And I hope you did.
And if you didn't, then this conversation has little to no context for you. But all that being said, they just weren't very tight
Okay.
as a band. And it was weird because the songs that they struggled the most on were like
They're big hits.
the big hits.
Wow, that they would have been playing all the time on
Yeah.
all the TV shows and okay.
So that was a little
And you saw the
different.
Hootie.
And we saw Hootie and the Blowfish, who put on a really, really great show.
Yeah, I was gonna like I said last week again that was one of the better concerts that I had been to
Yeah.
that I could remember. And I was like being surprised of how good it was.
Yeah, I mean, Darius Rucker's got a killer voice.
Yeah.
And they just brought it. You know, it was just a all around better put together show.
Yes.
But Bare Naked Ladies were really fun to watch, and they were really entertaining.
Did they do the Big Bang Theory?
They did,
I figured
They
as
did.
much.
and they had some really cool covers. Hootie and the Blowfish did a really amazing cover of "Losing My Religion" by REM,
Fantastic.
along with some other ones. But that one to me was the standout. And
So
that was
when I
a-
saw them, they
a
did like
huge-
some Fugees. It was pretty awesome that they just did some
Yeah.
weird covers that you wouldn't think Hootie and the Blowfish
Yeah,
would do.
they threw out a few, and then they played a couple of Darius's solo project
Oh, good for
big hits, and
Good for them.
even though you could kind of tell that he didn't want to play Wagon Wheel,
Yeah.
but like because literally before he played it, he said, "You know what? I wasn't planning on playing this song this tour, but the tour manager said that if I don't, he'll punch me in the throat."
It's like you kind of need to
And so,
keep it going.
but no, it was a good time.
Right on.
It was a good time.
So I was sad I wasn't able to go because I had multiple birthdays of children.
Just lined them right up.
Yeah, just
one literally right after the other.
planning was not my strongest suit in this case, but
It happens.
yeah, I had one kid's birthday Tuesday, then next on Wednesday, so it was just a lot of
It's all kinds of birthday.
birthday
Hey,
festivities.
you know what though? Kudos to you guys for not trying to
do the whole combined birthday nonsense.
Yeah, we've never. And my middle child, birthday is the day after Christmas, and so
And you guys still do it up
and
like it's a
we've-
real birthday.
right? We've always tried to, like, don't show up, with their birthday present and Christmas wrapping
Yeah.
paper. Just make it as
Which
separate
that
as
in
possible.
of itself takes a lot more planning than people might think, because you can't find around Christmas time
It's birthday wrapping paper.
birthday wrapping paper. It's harder to come by for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
right on.
it's a good weekend. Been
been a-
busy playing catch up for the last 2 days.
I know it's been a lot of. You take some time off and you come back and it's.
You pay for it.
Yeah, you do pay,
You pay
for
for it a little bit.
So
But yeah,
As
I
fun as it
mean,
is.
came back from we went to IKEA without children,
what?
which let me tell you, that's an entirely different experience.
You got to take your time.
Here's the thing: when you're not chasing kids around IKEA,
Yeah,
it takes almost no time.
really.
Yeah,
It was quicker.
it was.
All right.
Like we had kind of a game plan going into the store. Like, hey, these are the things that we're looking at. We were still out of there in under 2 hours.
Nice. It's been a while.
It's like
I
a
think
6 mile walk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been so
it's
long since I've
huge.
been into an IKEA. I barely remember.
It's-
I don't know what
it's
I had for lunch
it's a
yesterday
giant
either, so-
labyrinth
Yeah.
of Swedish-made goods.
Oh, it's a furniture place.
Yeah,
Oh, just
and there's furniture and meatballs.
nice.
I mean, we didn't actually. Normally, we eat there
Right.
because by the time we're done chasing the kids to the bottom floor of the store,
You're
they're
hungry.
starving,
Right.
and so are we. But we actually didn't even eat at IKEA
Nice.
on this trip, so it was good. And then came back and had a
I know. I kept on
like band had a gig on Saturday. So it was
Nice.
good
Where
times. It was somebody hired us to play their party.
Nice. Well, I remember I saw a picture or something. You're like, it had really nice views. and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was just at some
seemed
dude's
pretty cool.
house.
Oh, nice.
We set up lights and everything, and
Did the thing.
yeah, in some guy's living room. It was a good time though.
All right.
Can't complain.
Hanging out in some guy's living room
Yeah.
could be fun.
Playing rock and roll in some other person's living room for a change.
That's cool.
So, because I spent a lot of time playing rock and roll music in my own living room as a teenager.
Well, you got to go to that concert. I got to go to a different concert
Yes, you did.
that really no one has any idea
Yeah.
of. Like, when I'm mentioning, we took, our daughters to. She's a YouTube star / comedian,
Yes.
and her name is Colleen Ballinger, but she goes by a character name of Miranda Sings.
Yes, and she also had a show on Netflix.
Yeah, and a
Star of
stand-up.
Haters
that's
Back
up there.
Off.
Yeah,
And yeah, they just did. They put up like one of the nights from a live show that she did.
yeah. No, it was, and honestly, I thought it was going to be just excruciatingly painful. It wasn't bad.
All right.
It wasn't bad, honestly. I mean, what do I have to hide? But yeah, I was like, okay.
Listen,
you get
if
done
you
with
had
that,
fun,
and
you
you're
had
like,
fun.
You're like, okay. It's like taking your kid to a kid movie and going, oh my god, this is going to be brutal, and at the end be like, I'm all right.
Yeah, I didn't hate that.
Didn't hate it.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
But
Yeah.
and it's. Listen, I just came back from a Hootie and the Blowfish concert, and the crowd that I ran with
it was different than the crowd.
was a
I
little
ran.
bit different than people who would go to a Hootie and the Blowfish concert.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
we would probably have laughed at people going to a Hootie and the Blowfish concert
Yes.
back when I was a precocious young lad.
Back in the day, you're like, you're going where?
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah. And you were like, I can't wait.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I still go to the same kind of concerts that I went to back then as well. I've just realized
We
that.
grow.
What?
We grow.
Did you know that it's perfectly acceptable to like more than one genre of music?
Are you serious?
I'm
I did
positive.
I did not get this memo.
Yeah.
So
You can like more than one kind of music.
I kind of feel like I blend in better now because I've across the board
Yeah.
with many
Genres?
genres. Thank you.
Genres?
Genres.
Genre?
Genres.
But yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to like more than one kind of
Well,
music.
then I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
everybody learned a little something today.
a little bit something. So,
All right, let's jump into. I'm kind of excited about this.
all right. I
new-
am as well.
What
It's
we
an idea.
what may be a recurring segment
I know. It's
because we
something-
do this off mic all the time, and so I think
we do
we're gonna-
this a lot.
So I think we're gonna bring this to the podcast going forward, as long as it's not a train wreck.
Yeah, which
So-
let us know if it is, or if you like it. Either way.
We like to do this thing where one of us will just come up with some kind of a premise, or even just a title,
Yeah, I
and
think
then we'll try and write an entire movie, or
Just
you know,
based
kind
off
of an overarching.
which usually goes
idea
pretty
for
well
a
because
movie.
by the time we're done, I'm like,
Cool.
I'd go see that.
Let's call Warner.
I'd
See
go
if
see
we can
that.
get somebody to
Right.
greenlight this thing.
And I think it started because I had a relative that had, and it's happened quite a bit. Different relatives where they're talking about a movie or something, but
yeah,
they
badly explaining a movie,
badly explaining a movie, and they butcher
everything.
the title of the movie, well, and everything about it, but they butcher the title of the movie. But it seemed that when they were doing it, that it sounded like a legitimate title of a movie, like that would be a title
Yeah.
of a movie. And so I think that's when we were talking about it. It's like, what would that movie be about?
Yeah, if that was the title of the movie,
Right.
how would that movie go?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the new premise of you guys.
Whatever
Yeah,
we're gonna call this segment
What? Yeah.
somewhere down the road, if it becomes a thing.
Say name it, title it.
Yeah. So we will send us, if you have just a premise that you want us to go down the rabbit hole with for a little while, drop it in the comments, send us a message. However, you can email us,
Or just-
duckerinthebeard@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or just come up with a title of a movie.
Or just a title. And
two words together.
And we'll run with it.
Just, yeah. 2 words together and
See what happens.
title of a movie, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Because so far it's been pretty entertaining.
I
It's a
think
new,
we
and
think
it's a new favorite game.
we think it's fun.
Yeah.
So,
But
and really, we have microphones and you don't. So
it's one of those things.
you will listen to every word we have to say.
Don't change that channel. No. But we did go see an actual movie.
We did, and we're gonna
Yeah.
review it. I have some severely mixed emotions about
As
the
do I.
movie.
I have a lot of emotions going. I just went and saw it
like
prior to
minutes
recording.
ago.
Yeah, like just got here from actually watching this movie, which is
Toy Story 4, which should have been. You know how so like all the Star Wars movies, right?
Right.
It's Star Wars, A New Hope,
Yeah.
Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Like they should have given this a subtitle. We've had this conversation. We've mentioned this
Toy Story,
concept.
right.
Toy Story, the one that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
The one that Toy Story 3 was good enough.
Yeah.
It was a good ending to the story.
Yeah, that was a good ending to it. So this is one of those ones, and I tried to go into this one with the speculation because it seemed to be happening a lot lately, at least for me.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to maybe change my outlook a little bit of, because what even movie did we? Men in Black. We watched Men in Black.
Yeah.
And for those that didn't watch that episode, you can watch that one next.
It's the previous one.
Yeah.
To this one.
And it was, I just feel like I've been watching a lot of movies of no one asked for this.
Yeah. Or they're
Lately.
they're rebooting or rehashing or trying to reignite. Like, again, I thought that when they made Men in Black 3 that they
They tied it
put
up.
a nice little
Yes.
bow on that
great.
storyline and we didn't need to go any further.
And I'm even at this point going, I can more see that one than the Toy Story 4. Because they ended it.
It was over.
It was done.
Andy went to college, gave his toys away.
To another kid, they got to continue on
Being
together,
toys.
being toys,
I
living
mean,
that
I
life.
suppose,
that
and I
toys
had
are
this
meant for.
conversation. We should. I mean, we can do
Pause.
we can pause it, or we can keep going.
I
And we
don't
can
know.
do
I
the other
started
thing
going
later.
down that. Should open
I think
it up.
we're already down the path. I promise we will get to the
Yes.
the new movie that we
Yes.
will create right before your very eyes.
Yes.
We're gonna jump into the Toy Story because hey, the ball's rolling.
I know.
already.
I started rolling.
because I did have this short conversation with somebody who's like, I mean, you say that they put a bow on it, but I mean, what's to say that there's not more stories with Bonnie, the new
Right.
kid?
Right.
You know, so they're like, it did leave it open. And I suppose that's not entirely an inaccurate statement.
Correct.
However, it was over for me.
Right.
Like in my mind, and in a lot of, I'm not alone in this, but for a lot of people, that was the end of the story.
Right.
And it didn't need to go any further.
It didn't. I'm not sad by it. I mean, it's a Pixar
No,
movie, so
listen,
it's sad. And
it
that
was good.
Content. Yeah.
It was
had
well
no-
made, well written, well executed. The
It wa-
movie was good.
And it was a storyline of something I hadn't really thought of.
Yes.
And so I was happy with that it wasn't, Star Wars The Force Awakens, where we were just kind of recycling the kids growing up.
Yeah.
We've done that. So I was...
It gave you a little bit of an insight to how, now, again, kind of a broken storyline in a way, of how the toys kind of get their soul,
Right.
if you were.
Right.
Because we have a new toy
Yes.
in the mix.
That happens all the time, so I'm glad they addressed it. That
Yeah.
it's kids making toys. It was a
Little Bonnie made a toy out of a spork and some
Yeah. And it was a Forky?
pipe cleaner and
Forky, right?
Forky.
Yeah, Forky.
And it didn't become a toy
Right.
until she wrote her name on its foot.
Right. That it was her toy. But there was really funny things surrounding that. Of this.
I actually
fork
thought that was a
believing-
great character.
Yeah, of learning to be a toy, and it was Woody stepping in almost a fatherly role
Yeah.
of having to take care of this.
This new
It was like a child,
Friend,
yeah,
yeah.
like that didn't understand anything, kept on trying to throw itself away because it was trash.
as toys, they were built to be a toy, and they apparently once they come to life have that understanding. I mean, Buzz Lightyear took a little while to come
Right.
around, if you recall, but
Yeah,
so they have this kind of understanding that they're a toy, that they're a child's plaything.
right.
And this, because it was made out of essentially garbage,
Believe
thought it
itself.
was trash.
Yeah, that's where it wanted to be.
What a
That's-
heartwarming message.
It is.
Hey, just because of where you come from doesn't mean you can't be something amazing.
Exactly. Trying to turn my.
That was my after school special moment.
That was nice though.
And there was several of those kind of underlying themes throughout the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There was, I think, it's almost more for the parents who grew up with these movies. Let's be
yeah.
honest.
Oh yeah,
Toy Story came out in 1994.
yeah. It's like we were kids.
I
at
was
the
12
age to
years
go-
old.
Yeah,
So these characters are more a part of my childhood than they
Right.
are of my children's childhood.
right. They're like, oh, okay, that's.
And I
cool.
think that they wrote to that.
right
to an
well,
extent.
because it was the toys and what their purpose is.
Yeah.
As a toy, and when you serve your purpose, and so I thought it was really, really good. It was just one of those. There wasn't enough closure for me. I know that sounds weird because there was closure at the
I
end,
liked
and
it.
it's Pixar movie, so there's gonna be. I'm not sugarcoated. There's gonna be sadness, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be some emotions that are being flung
You're gonna
around.
feel feels.
But it wasn't enough. I don't know if I can say like it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to spoil
Right.
anything for anybody, but
For me personally,
Yeah.
that was just one of those things where I was like, okay, there was some, but with those movies, it's like the story could keep going. This is it. You never know.
yeah. It actually felt more open-ended than Toy Story 3 did.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, okay,
And we got a sequel from that.
There you
So,
go.
we'll see what happens.
yeah, and all the
Listen, it's
actors
one of those
came back.
Yeah, everyone came back. Although I will say about who is it? It's Joan Cusack. She voices Jessie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just me, but it didn't sound like her
It didn't.
a lot of times. Like I walked out of the theater and I was like, to me, I had to look it up. I was like, oh, did she not come back for this movie? No,
Right.
she did. It sounded like somebody trying to do a Joan Cusack impersonation.
Right. No, and I'm not wrong. Or you're not wrong on that one. I
know they're all getting
right.
everyone's getting
older.
on in years too.
But there's
and
been
that's not, so it's not a criticism. It was just
no, and there's been a few of the original characters that have passed on.
yeah.
And I've always kind of liked what they've done of not having them talk, those characters,
Yeah.
or little things from there. But I didn't notice with her as much. But you could kind of tell the toys seemed older. Is that wrong for me to say?
Yeah.
Like they're just, and I think the voices lent themselves to that.
Well,
that
and they
it's
are
like,
older. I mean, you listen
they've been
to
doing this for
well, you even listen to Tim Allen's voice as Buzz
Mm-hmm.
Lightyear, and he's not quite the same
right.
because mostly, he's 25 freaking years older than he was when he started this project.
Exactly. So
But
lending
man, it
itself
does
to
feel
that.
like they only quit milking these franchises when like a main actor
right.
just won't come back.
Right. Exactly.
And I will tell you this: if they ever try and make a Toy Story movie without Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, I'm out.
Yeah, it's not going to be done.
Don't do it. I won't. I will not
I think they
stand
can,
for that kind of tomfoolery.
I think they can leave it alone at this
Yeah.
point. But I really enjoyed
I could
Ghost.
see a weird sequel coming from this one,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I hope I don't.
yeah. Well, they've done like the little shorts.
Yeah, that was another thing that kind of caught me off guard. The trailer's finished.
Yeah,
I was waiting
right.
for a new Pixar short.
Yeah,
I got
Didn't see
nothing.
one.
So,
Usually that happens.
spoiler alert that, but it's the first part of the movie.
right.
There
Yeah,
is
it
no
just jumps
new
in.
short.
Yeah.
The last one they did with the little dumpling boy, that
Oh,
one was
yeah.
that one was cute.
Yeah,
But
that's a good
you
one.
kind of look forward to seeing those, and
Yeah,
it was suspiciously absent.
yeah. There was absent on that one.
It was
But-
absent the same way a post-credit scene in Endgame was absent. And it just
But they're bringing it back.
that's a thing we can talk about.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
bookend this one.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll come right back. But my opinion is definitely go see it. Listen, you're already invested in the franchise this much. It's a great summer movie for to bring the family to, or just go by yourself. Again, I would have probably gone and seen this by myself if my kids didn't want to go see
I know.
it. I
My
can't
ki-
imagine them not wanting to go see it, but
Yeah, my kids were chomping at the bit, and it was
Yeah.
So go see it. Thumbs up.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So
But it made you feel things.
it did make you feel things.
And entirely different things than the movies did when you were kids.
Yeah, you're at a different place.
So
That's
again,
all day.
our audience, people who are in our demographic, we
Grew
grew
up
up
with
on
them.
these movies, and
Yep.
so I remember how they made me feel as a kid, and this just made me feel a different thing.
Yeah, because it's like, and they address the fact that
It felt like it was
they're in a
written
different
more
place.
for adults.
Yeah.
It really did.
Oh, I agree, because you were at a different place when the first movie came out. They were in a different place.
Absolutely. And now the same kids who went and saw the first Toy Story on opening weekend in 1994, whenever
Right.
exactly it came out, we are now the anxiety-ridden, overworked adults
Tired adults.
that
Yeah.
still like that kind of that are still going to go see those movies
Oh,
because
yeah.
we loved them so much when we were kids.
Exactly. They
And,
heard that
and
was
it
coming
really,
out. And
it did feel like it was written more
I
toward
agree.
us
I
than
agree.
it did toward the kids.
No, definitely.
So,
Definitely. But yeah, definitely go see it.
and with all of that being said, we'll be right back.
There you go.
Enjoy this commercial.
Here we
And
are.
we're back.
Welcome
Again.
back. We're here.
We're here, back from the commercial break.
Yes. So we had started.
We started talking about
the bookend. Yes.
And then the ball began rolling.
Us being
with the Toy
us.
Story.
Yes.
We
rolled with it.
Yeah, we rolled with the ball that
Bob
we
and
rolled.
weave.
So, but I think this is fun. I think it's going to be a fun experiment.
I know. I
for
want
our
as many people
listeners.
to kind of chime in and see, because
Yeah.
I'm as excited as I am. I'm kind of nervous that being put on
It'll
the
be
spot,
it'll put us on the spot for sure.
that my brain's just going to shut down. But all the other times, because I've played it with my son as well.
Well, and I think we're going to
And-
start off with a little bit of a softball
Right.
because it's not so much a brand new
No.
movie as it is, as much as we just, bitched and moan about reboots and remakes and
Yeah.
and all this, that, and the other thing. But
It's
it kind
us
of
making a remake of a movie that does not exist,
it's true.
or something like that.
Well, it's more of a reboot of a movie that does exist, but in a different way, and
Yes.
to fully incorporate it into another universe
Yes. Well, the new
or several of them,
several of them. So yes,
as it were.
So the new Spider-Man movie is coming out, which is what
Yeah, it
this
is.
has to do. And in it, they've announced that there's now a multiverse.
Yeah, we've been introduced to the fact that now there's a multiverse in the MCU.
Yeah, which opens up a whole bunch of doors to the fact
For-
that we were discussing, had kind of started the conversation, but
Yeah.
then put a pin in it so we
Stop
could talk
so we
about
can do this right now.
Yes, because going down this rabbit hole of that opens the door to the previous Spider-Man movies.
It does. And especially now that Disney owns all of them.
It does own all of them, and how awesome of a movie it would be for
So to bring this all back around full circle. So if you didn't catch Into the Spider-Verse when it came out,
right.
what was it? Fall? Winter?
Yeah,
Last year.
yeah.
So 2018.
I just watched it again the other
Yeah.
night because I bought it.
I have it on the digitals.
And was reminded of some pretty great characters in that movie.
Yes.
All of them are really good, but how awesome it would be for a live action Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
Absolutely. So we're gonna open. The Avengers screwed up inadvertently, and they ripped holes in the what we'll call the time-space continuum,
Right.
for familiarity's sake,
Yeah.
which now creates a whole new problem for the Avengers that are left.
Yeah.
We know, spoiler alert, that we no longer have Tony Stark, or at least the one that we. It came
It's-
out 2 months ago.
I
It's
know.
okay now.
They're re-releasing it in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yes,
I'll probably go see it.
it's got an extra 6 minutes of footage.
I'll probably go see
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to. Anyway, but we're down a couple of Avengers,
Right.
like 3 of them.
Yeah. We're missing some, and the other ones are off doing
Whatever they're going to
Avenger
do,
stuff.
we'll find out when Disney Plus launches in November.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the Avengers that are left
Right.
are Spider-Man.
And
That's it.
Yeah, it would just
We have Tom Holland as essentially the Iron Spider
yes is
from
how
that
it's
story
kind of-
arc.
Yeah, he's back on Earth. But as they announced in the trailer, that the snap to kind of fix everything also
Broke everything.
broke everything, and now there's a multiverse, which means
Yeah.
that there's multiple Earths with multiple Tucker and the Beards. There's
And
multiple.
there are universes in which Tony Stark is still alive.
I hope they don't pull on that string,
Well,
but it's possible.
Robert Downey Jr.'s contract's up. I doubt
Yeah.
they're gonna, that's going to
And
be the thread that
he
they
got
pull on.
paid for those movies.
Yeah, he did.
They're going to be
Yeah, so I don't think that that's going to be a thing. But just kind of drawing from the Into the Spider-Verse,
right.
right? So not only can we
which is
have
the plot of that, and a whole bunch of different Spider-Mans
Yeah.
come to one Earth and have to stop the bad guy to
Yeah.
each go back to their own Earths. But
how great would it be to have Tobey Maguire,
yes,
Andrew Garfield,
yes,
and Tom Holland,
yes,
all as the Spider-Man
I'm there. And then throw
in one movie. You throw in Nick Cage
playing Spider-Man Noir from
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse, but just a live action
Yeah.
version of it. I'm there. Day
and
one.
and listen, if they can give us Rocket the Raccoon, they can give us Spider Pig.
Yeah. Might as well. Live action Spider Pig just for the humor of it.
Because
And
it
then just, like,
exists.
Yeah. And then there's multiple bad guys from the different thing. Done.
Yeah. Some crazy Dimension X Green Goblin.
Yeah. Bring back
Listen-
William Dafoe.
That would be. Do you bring back Defoe?
Probably bring back Doc Ock.
Or do you bring back. No, just on the Green Goblin angle.
Okay.
Do we bring back Dad? Or do we bring
Dad.
back. Harry?
That's storyline. They didn't ask me.
Yeah.
But they should have.
They should have asked you.
They should have asked me.
Well, I mean, it's a storyline that
Yeah.
that does exist in the books. So
Well, and by the
I understand why
right.
they did it.
But we're talking about the movie versions of
Yeah.
it. And if movie Green Goblin, bring back William Dafoe.
All right.
Because he was just crazy.
I would love to see them
Harry
bring-
did his little circle at the end, and he was kind of the
Yeah.
one of the good guys. Spoiler for Spider-Man.
I think
3
it would be
from-
cool if they brought in a Green Goblin from a different dimension that was more like
Green
the
Goblin.
original Green Goblin, who was not a technology built
Yeah,
super
Just a
soldier.
crazy-
He was just a freaking goblin.
right.
Like that would be cool. And
Yeah.
so
you-
that's what the
different versions.
Spider-Verse does, is it gives you the opportunity to bring different versions. You know, none of the people who have ever played Spider-Man fought that Green Goblin.
Right. Of having some variation from another that Green Goblin
Yeah.
Earth. Bring that one in, and they have to team up
Killer.
stop it.
Yeah. I mean there's so many different
versions. of-
great. I mean eventually Disney will buy up DC Studios too. And then
then
we're
we'll-
going to see crossovers.
Then
with
it's going to be
Wazoo.
Batman and Wolverine team
Yeah.
up.
But I hope
yeah,
that never happens.
I really hope.
Please hope that never happens.
I will not be talking about those movies. 'Cause
No.
I will just. No.
It's the same reason. Man, wasn't there a comic book movie that came out a couple weeks ago? Could have swore there was one that we should have talked about.
They're coming out a
Guess
lot.
not.
I don't know. Oh, you talking about Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it even took me a minute.
Listen,
to
we
just be
skipped it altogether because
Well, for multiple reasons, because we had like 20 things going on each, and it was.
it just wasn't worth it.
No.
It wasn't worth even trying to go to the
It
movies
is-
to see that.
Yeah, it got such a
thing.
bad score. And
But they
just.
screwed up the entire X-Men thing long time ago.
See, I actually really like Days of Future Past. But I think
But
that
we're
they should have
friends,
left
and
it.
I
They
and
should
we
have
can
left
agree
it
to
there.
disagree.
Yeah. They should have left it at that one. Just been like, okay,
I
done.
agree.
They erased everything, movies that had happened, and let's,
Yeah,
they should
there's
have
just
just
so
left it
many
alone.
continuity
But then they kept
issues with the
going.
entire X-Men
oh yeah,
timeline throughout those movies. I lost interest. You know, even I love Wolverine as a character.
Mhm.
X-Men Origins Wolverine was hot, steaming hot garbage.
Yeah. Well, and then on multiple fronts, that movie has been erased.
Well, yeah,
From Days of Future Past, that movie got erased, and then the end
Deadpool.
Deadpool 2, he really went back and erased all of that.
yeah.
So
How do you make the Merc with a mouth without one?
for that
Come on,
reason, I know.
come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our new movie
would be
concept is
awesome.
a live action Spider-Verse. You bring back everyone who's ever played Spider-Man.
Just a
On the
little
big
hat tip
screen.
to Tobey Maguire and
to bring them
Andrew
all back
Garfield.
in to fight one villain
or multiple
or multiple
because they got
villains.
to team up. Spider-Man style.
Well, it'd be cool because, we have all these, the Avengers kind of have their rogues gallery.
Right.
But Spider-Man has a different rogues gallery.
Yeah, and a really good one,
And a
too.
really good one. But then you have the Defenders who have their own rogues gallery.
Right.
And when you start crossing lines there,
It could be really cool.
Now-
or really bad.
well, because that essentially they did that in Into the Spider-Verse,
Mhm.
where the main villain was Kingpin,
Yeah.
who's not typically in Spider-Man's rogues gallery. He's Daredevil. He's a
Yeah,
Defender's.
he's off to the side. He pops in from time to time,
Yeah,
but more it's
but
Daredevil.
he's a Defender's rogue.
Right.
He's not typically a Spider-Man rogue, villain. So seeing them reach over there again, now that Disney owns everything,
Yeah.
the possibilities
Like I
are
said, I'm
truly
pretty sure
endless.
they own me, but I just haven't gotten the memo yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the check either.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah. I think that's the kind of weird world that I live in where it could be super awesome. It's just like,
Could
if
be
they did a
rad.
movie of this, it'd be awesome. But yeah, I just want to see Nicolas Cage just pop out. Just Spider-Man noir.
you want to see Nick Cage thwipping?
He needs some good things in his life. Throw him a
Yeah,
bone.
he does.
Just throw him a bone.
I think that Nick Cage is kind of like, I don't know, I just feel bad for the guy.
I know. The best thing he never did was that Superman movie.
True story.
He would have been done a long time ago. Long time ago.
Yep.
But speaking of Spider-Man,
Let's talk about him.
well,
Next
that's
week.
coming up. Exactly. Flip,
Next
flip.
week's going to be an interesting day for
Yeah.
us because we're going to have some guests in studio next week.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get some
Some-
special guests
Some
lined up.
special guests for next week, and we're literally going to go to the first possible showing of the day,
It's probably what we're gonna have to end up doing.
and then we're going to run right into the studio to try and
Yeah,
get that locked up.
yeah. So, fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, so
Cool.
we'll see how it works out. Anyway, I don't know. I think that's a fun idea for us to
Yeah.
do. If you guys
No,
like
please
it,
do.
let us
I'm
know,
Really excited about
and
that.
we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
If you have a premise that you want to see us try and elaborate on,
Do it.
shoot it over to us. And other than that,
Yeah.
keep
You're writing a book.
liking,
In your little shed,
commenting,
and you
sharing.
need some help. Throw us the premise. See what we do
We'll-
with it. We'll help you out.
We're. I mean, I know we're tooting our own horn, but I think we're kind of pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
yeah,
So-
keep liking, sharing,
Please.
subscribing, commenting, all the things. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah.
And that's it for us. So
That's it. Thanks for
until
joining
next-
us.
Until next week, he's Tucker,
He's a beard.
and we're out.